All right, listen, if your YouTube videos are getting some views, and honestly, I don't care if it's only 100 views, you should be getting leads for your business. If you're not, I think I know why. Honestly, it's probably not what you think. What I've found is that most coaches, consultants, and business owners, they assume that if they can just get more views, they'll get more leads. But here's the deal. That's usually not the problem. I mean, I've seen videos with just 50 views generate qualified leads. I've seen videos with 100 views generate clients. In fact, one of our clients generated over $12,500 from a tiny YouTube channel. I'm talking about a channel with only 109 subscribers, and most of her videos were getting between 100 and 200 views. Crazy, right? So today, I want to show you 3 of the biggest mistakes that I have seen that prevent people, coaches, consultants, business owners from turning viewers into leads. Here's the good news though. These things that I'm going to share with you are literally easy to fix, and you can probably do it in the next 5 minutes. So let's jump in. Mistake number 1 is you have no way to turn a viewer into an actual lead. Now I know you're probably thinking, Scott, that's pretty obvious. Let me dig in here a little bit. The very first thing that we look at when we're working with a client before we ever upload a YouTube video is really simple. Do you even have a way for someone to become a lead? Seriously, think about it. Someone watches your video, they like what you have to say, they think, I think this person can actually help me. Now what? What do they do next? Do you have a guide or a checklist or a workshop or a playbook? Anything. Because if you don't, how do you expect someone to become a lead? I know that seems obvious, but it's crazy because sometimes I see coaches that don't even have a lead magnet yet. So that would be like mistake number 1, fix number 1. Get one of those things created. Now, sometimes they've already got one, they just never mention it. Either way, you're leaving opportunities on the table in every single video that you upload, because every single video should give your ideal client an opportunity to raise their hand and say, I'd like to learn more. This is actually one of the first things that we do when we're working with a client. Before we ever worry about getting more views, we want to make sure there's a clear path for someone to become a lead. It's actually part of what we call our Steady Leads operating system. And I break the entire process down inside our Steady Leads playbook. I show you exactly how to build a simple lead generation system that's designed to turn viewers like you into leads and eventually maybe clients. And let me practice what I preach. If you'd like to get a copy of that, just comment playbook down below and I'll send it to you. And this is literally the same playbook that we're using with our clients. So definitely make sure that you grab a copy. Now, let's move on to mistake number 2, because I see this one all the time. So let's just say, for example, you have a lead magnet. And by the way, let me know in the comments, do you have a lead magnet? Let's say that you do. That's awesome. The next mistake I see is that you're mentioning it way too late in your video. So think about this for a second. You go into your YouTube studio, you look at your audience retention. If you're not doing that, you should be doing that. And you're gonna watch and see where people drop off. And maybe it's around the 3-minute mark. Maybe it's 4 minutes. But now you ask yourself, when do you first tell people that they can get your guide or your download? What is that time? You need to ask yourself that question. Because if you're waiting until the very end of the video, there's a really good chance that a large percentage of your audience is never even going to see that. Now, I don't want you to misunderstand me here. I'm not saying you should start every video with, hey, before we get started, download my free guide. That's not what I'm saying at all. I didn't do that in this video. If you go back and kind of watch what I did, you want to really set it up in the beginning and get people to want to watch more. You want to hook them first, then you want to teach them something, you want to deliver value, then naturally you're going to bring it into the conversation. Very similar to what I did here just a minute ago. Like I said, if you want a masterclass on how to do that, just go back and watch what I did. Okay, if you've ever watched any of my other videos, you've probably noticed that that's exactly what I do. I don't force it. I mention it when it naturally fits what I'm teaching. Because if I'm talking about building a lead generation system, it makes sense for me to mention my playbook. It becomes part of the lesson, not an interruption. That's the key. We don't just want to randomly put it out there and go, oh yeah, by the way, guys, before I go on any further, I've got this cool thing that you should check out. That's not what I'm doing. What I'm actually doing is I'm including it in my teaching. Like everything that I'm talking about here on this channel has to do with what's inside that playbook, because that's what we teach and that's what we share. So it comes naturally. So don't force it, but you do want to interweave that. So this way here, it's just natural. All right, so let's move on to mistake number 3. This is where you're measuring the wrong thing. Here's where I think a lot of people have this backwards. Pay attention to this one. They think more views equals more leads. Now, sometimes that's true, but not always. And I would say, more importantly, if you don't have your targeting right, it doesn't matter how many views you get if it's the wrong audience. The real goal isn't more views. The real goal is creating opportunities for the right people to become leads, to raise their hand. Because once someone joins your email list, everything changes. Now your YouTube videos become an asset. Someone watches a video today, they grab your playbook, they start getting your emails, they watch another video, then another, and they begin understanding how you think. They start hearing your philosophy, your framework, and over time, they start trusting you. That's how people buy. We all know that. They rarely watch one video and immediately become a client. They binge. They consume more content. They build trust over time. That's what we call the authority binge effect. And honestly, I think it's one of the biggest competitive advantages that you can build as a coach or consultant, because now your videos aren't just getting views, they're helping people move one step closer to becoming a client. So if your videos are getting views, but they're not getting you leads, do not automatically assume you need more views. Instead, ask yourself 3 questions. Number 1, do I have a clear way for someone to become a lead? Number 2, am I mentioning it enough in the video that people actually see it? And number 3, once they become a lead, am I giving them enough content to binge so they begin trusting me? Because if you solve those 3 problems, your YouTube channel stops becoming just another content channel. It starts becoming a lead generation system. And honestly, that's the entire goal. So now hopefully you've identified what you can fix and you're going to do it, and you'll see more leads coming in from the same views that you're getting on your videos. Now, if you want to see the full system broke down, really how to build out your own authority content blueprint, how to implement the steady leads flywheel, and how to create a content machine, go ahead and watch this right here. I created a full workshop where I take you through the entire system. Watch that video next, and I'll see you there.